Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Educational Planet. So this is my first video and the today's topic is reproduction in organisms, which is the first chapter of class 12th. So I'm going to tell you the main terms which are in this chapter. So first is lifespan. It is the period from birth to the natural death of an organism. Which represents its lifespan. So it is basically the period from the birth to the natural death. मीन्स कि एक पीरियड जो होता है बर्थ से लेकर नेचुरल डेथ तक एक ऑर्गेनिज्म का, उसको हम लाइफ स्पैन बोलते हैं. सो लेट्स टेक एन एग्जाम्पल. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, banyan tree. So its lifespan is 200 years. And the second example we can take, like for example, men. So its maximum lifespan is 100 years. And another example, if we would take, for example, butterfly. Its lifespan is 1 to 2 weeks. Then coming to the another topic, which is reproduction. So, what do you mean by reproduction? Reproduction, first of all, it is a biological process. And secondly, organisms produces, obviously organism will produce. So organism produces another organisms. Here organism means offsprings. Which is similar to itself. So what is reproduction? First of all, it is a biological process. Then reproduction, in this process, organism produces another offspring या और what organisms जो कि similar होते हैं अपने आप से. Then उसके functions और importance क्या होते हैं? First of all, it is necessary for the continuity of the species. Secondly, it is responsible for variation in a population. And the last but not the least, it gives inheritance to future generations. Then what are the types of reproduction? There are two types of reproduction. First is sexual and second is asexual. It involves biparental, it involves uniparental. So by reading the word we can understand that bi means two, involvement of two parents, and uni means one, so involvement of only one parent. Then asexual reproduction involves mitosis. So sexual involves meiosis. So by reading, I know you will all get confused at in which type of reproduction the process will come, meiosis or the mitosis. So we can relate like this. In meiosis, which is related to us, me means I means that what the type of reproduction we do, that is sexual. Then third point come, it does not in asexual reproduction, so it does not play important role in evolution process, and it plays role in evolution process. Then coming to the asexual reproduction, actually I'm not writing it, I'm just telling you that offsprings are the exact copies, that is clones. uh, Clones means the exact copy of an another organism. Coming to the next, the main important topic, which comes for 1 marker or the 2 marker in CBSE board, that is vegetative propagation. It is a mode of asexual reproduction in which new plants are formed. So it is a mode of reproduction in which new plants are formed from vegetative parts. Vegetative parts means vegetative propagules of the plant, like root, stems, etc. Then next, it is very common in angiosperms. Then here are some units, like for example, first I'm just jotting down all the which are given in the NCRT. First is bulbil, which is agave. Then second is bulbs. which is onion and garlic. Then followed up by bulbs, then eyes, potato, then next leaf birds, bryophyllum, then offset, hyacinth and pistia, then rhizome, ginger, then runner, oxalis, and the last one is sucker, which is mint. Then sexual reproduction. It involves the fusion of male and female gametes to form a zygote. So how does the zygote form? When the fusion of a male and a female gametes fuses together, which forms a zygote. Then the phases come in this sexual reproduction. So first is juvenile phase, second is vegetative phase, third is reproductive phase, and the fourth is senescent phase. So in detail, first one is juvenile phase. So it is the pre-reproductive phase. In which all organisms require a certain growth and maturity in life before reproducing sexually. So it is the pre-reproductive phase जिसके अंदर organism कोई भी हुआ उसको एक certain growth और maturity अपनी life में जिसकी बहुत ज़्यादा importance है before reproducing sexually. Then coming up to the vegetative phase. So juvenile phase in plants the juvenile phase which is in plants is called vegetative phase. Then the reproductive phase. So reproductive phase means it is only the reproductive phase, and where an organism possess all the capacity and potential to reproduce. Basically, it is the end of juvenile phase. It is the end of juvenile phase. Then the fourth one is post-reproductive phase. It is the post-reproductive phase in the life cycle where an organism slowly loses the rate of metabolism. Means where an organism loses slowly its metabolism. Its reproductive potential also. Then the events in there are events in sexual reproduction. So there are three events. First is pre-fertilization, then is fertilization, and then is post-fertilization. Fertilization is also known as syngamy. So in pre-fertilization, these include two formation of gametes, so which are the gametogenesis and the gamete transfer. Then in post-fertilization, it involves zygote development, and the embryogenesis. Then here are some terms which are, first is spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis means it is the formation of male gamete. Then the oogenesis, then it is also the formation of female gamete. Then next term is homogametes or isogametes. Then is the heterogamete. So here two marker difference also comes. What is the differentiate between homogamete and heterogamete? So homo means same and hetero means different. Like for example, I'll give you this image, this diagram. It is an alga. So we are not able to differentiate between them. So what is its explanation? When male and female gametes are similar in appearance, and it is not possible to differentiate between them. So as you can see that we are not able to differentiate between them, so they are referred as homogametes or isogametes. Then coming to the heterogametes, in heterogametes, when the male and the female gametes are morphologically distinct. So for example, like I will give you, so it is an example of Homo sapiens. So here we are able to differentiate between them and they're morphologically distinct also. So what is its definition? When the male and female gametes are morphologically distinct. Then coming up, so the next term is homothelic monoecious, and when the difference come between them, the next term is heterothelic dioecious. So here also we are able to understand homo means similar and hetero means different. Mono means one, di means two. So in the in homothelic or monoecious, a single organism only. A single organism bearing both male and female gametes. For example, coconut. So it is homothelic. Then heterothelic in this, heterothelic or dioecious in this, organisms in which different individuals carry male and female gametes are called heterothelic or dioecious. For example, papaya. So in homothelic, एक सिंगल ऑर्गेनिज्म जिसके पास मेल और फीमेल गैमीट्स होते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल कोकोनट, और जो हेटेरोथेलिक और डायोशियस होता है, इसके अंदर ऑर्गेनिजम्स के दो डिफरेंट इंडिविजुअल्स कैरी करता है मेल और फीमेल गैमीट्स, लाइक पपाया. Then coming up to the next term, which is staminate and pistillate. So it is unisexual male flower bearing stamens, and pistillate is unisexual female flowers bearing pistils. Then the next term comes, which is hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites are the animals bearing hermaphrodites are the animals bearing both the sexes are called hermaphrodites. For example, earthworm, sponge, tapeworm, and leech. Then how does the cell division occur during gamete formation? So gametes first, the first point is gametes are always haploid. Then haploid organisms only. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सेल डिवीजन कैसे अकर होता है जब गैमीट फॉर्मेशन हो रहा होता है, तो जब जो गैमीट्स होते हैं वो हैप्लॉइड्स होते हैं, यानी कि इनकी जो 2n होती है, प्लॉइडी जो इनकी होती है वो 2n होती है. जो हैप्लॉइड ऑर्गेनिजम्स होते हैं वो प्रोड्यूस करते हैं गैमीट्स को बाय माइटोटिक डिवीजन. देन जो डिप्लॉयड ऑर्गेनिजम्स होते हैं, दैट मीन्स इनकी प्लॉइडी क्या होती है, n होती है. तो जो डिप्लॉयड ऑर्गेनिजम्स होते हैं वो करते हैं मियोसिस. और दी स्पेशलाइज्ड सेल्स called myocytes. Which are also known as gamete mother cell to form gametes. Then the next point is at the end of both the divisions. Then first is haploid, जो कि 2n प्लॉइडी होती है उसकी. जो गैमीट्स होते हैं वो हैप्लॉइड होते हैं. जो हैप्लॉइड ऑर्गेनिजम्स होते हैं वो माइटोटिक डिवीजन करते हैं. जो डिप्लॉयड ऑर्गेनिजम्स होते हैं वो मियोसिस में जाते हैं, या फिर हम इनको स्पेशलाइज्ड सेल्स बोल सकते हैं जिनका होता है नेम मियोसाइट्स, जो कि हम बोलते हैं गैमीट मदर सेल, जो कि गैमीट फॉर्म करवाते हैं. देन एट द एंड of both the divisions, only one set of chromosomes get incorporated into each gamete. Then जब end होता है both the divisions, दोनों डिविजन्स का, तो सिर्फ एक सेट ऑफ क्रोमोसोम जो होता है वो इनकॉर्पोरेट होता है हर एक ईच गैमेट, यानी कि एक गैमेट में एक. Then coming up to the next term, which is fertilization. So it is the fusion of male and female gametes to form a diploid cell called zygote. Then the fertilization is also of two types, which is external fertilization and internal fertilization. Differentiating between them, external and internal. So in this fusion of gametes, occurs outside the body of an organism. It is called external fertilization. For example, frogs, bony fish. Then coming up to the internal fertilization, it is the fusion of gametes which occurs inside the body of an organism. For example, birds, mammals, etc. Then the next point is offsprings are extremely vulnerable to predators, and in this the offsprings are well protected. Comparatively. So in external fertilization, it is the fusion of gametes occurs outside the body of an organism. Means it occurs the outside of the body of an organism, like for example frogs, bony fish. Then in internal fertilization, it is inside the body of an organism, for example birds, mammals, etc. Then the offsprings of external fertilization, they are vulnerable to predators. That means they're not safe outside, and comparatively when the internal fertilization occurs, their offsprings are protected inside the worm. Then coming up to the next point, next event, which is post fertilization event. So in this there is a term called embryogenesis, which is the process of development of embryo from the zygote is called embryogenesis. Then during embryogenesis, zygote undergoes cell division and cell differentiation. Which is cell division is called mitosis, which increases the cell number, and in cell differentiation it forms specialized tissues and organs. Then there is a term called oviparous and viviparous. So oviparous animals lays eggs and viviparous give birth to young ones. So by reading this name, VV means we can relate it V, so that means we don't lay eggs, so we give birth to young ones, and the oviparous animals lays eggs. Then in oviparous animals their chances of survival is less, and their chances of survival is obviously more. So for example of oviparous, reptiles, birds, etc. And in viviparous, for example, humans. Today's topic is covered. Now we will meet in the next video. So I will be taking up the second chapter, which is called sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So please like, subscribe, hit bell button and share my video. Thank you so much.